Okay, everybody. We are back. Oh, feels good. Feels great. Let us... Nope, not that one. There we go. All right. I think I got it all set up here. Guys, we're in Lightseekers again. How amazing is this? All right. I have to go in. Where did people post their deck doctoring? I know there was like 2 or 3, but it's been so long since I received them, and it's not on my personal Discord. Sent them in a private message. Okay. So I see 3 of them here. I'm seeing Zelina, but not a Bumbler. You're absolutely right, Terrashock. Okay. No, I found it. I'm just reading the notes you sent. Okay, let's see if we can get this deck put together. Oh, I think my girlfriend just woke up. She sent me a Snapchat. I bet it's adorable. I bet it's of the cats. It is of the cats. They're both sitting outside the office door saying, "Daddy locked me out." I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Daddy's got a stream. First, turn Legacy off. I don't know why that's an auto on. Really don't. Really don't. So we're going into the hero. Wartoximus Warp. Three Hammer Enforcers. 3 Unstable Scavenger. No, 2 Unstable Scavengers. 2 Repair Bots. 2 Scrapworks Bruisers. 2 Clockwork Constructs. 2 Ramparts. 3 Fixers. 2 Time Worms. 3 Cannons. And then 2 more Cannons. Oh boy, loving this already. All right, now the combos. The deck is built around Spatial Dilution. Loving it. Yes, Multiration is in here as well. Don't you forget about those crystal cards. Hyper Rewind we are looking for. If I can find it, there we go. Reactor Overdrive as well. Now we are adding in Crystal for Jack of all trades. Putting in the Crystal Scepter. Putting in 2 Catalytic Crystallites. And 2 Mimicking Magmites. And then, of course, what item deck would be incomplete without 2 Tantosian Blacksmiths? Perfect. I'll just do Spatial Rank. Just a nice quick little thing here. So as we look at this deck, let me go ahead and change my deck list here then quick. You want me to run the Tempest only one? I have that one too. It's right here. I can build that if you want. Rangslord, which one would you like me to take a look at? The Wartoximus Warp or the Tempest one? Switch to the tech only? Okay. Okay. I have so many decks, it's not even... There we go. Alright, tech only. Here we go. Oh, you're just toying with the mountain version. Gotcha. Alright, that makes sense. Three Hammer Down, 3 Scrap Works. 2 Repair Bots. 2 Clockwork Constructs. 2 Ramparts. 3 Tyrax Fixers. 2 Fountain of Time. 2 Time Worms. Ooh, there we go. Only 2 Colossi Cannons. And 3 Zarenkovs. And then 2 Demolition Bots. Alright, now we get... Oh, did I miss something? I don't have any Scrapworks Bruisers in here. Should be 2 of those. What else did I miss? Scatterbot. There we go. Okay, now to the combos. Spatial Dilution. Reactor Overdrive. Chrono Dash. Hyper Rewind. And Nitro Heal. Okay. Terror Shock, yeah. Basically, this is a segment that I like to refer to as deck doctoring. I kind of pseudo took it from the Hearthstone player Firebat, where if people are trying to build a concept around a deck and they might not have all the cards, they send in the concept of the deck, be like, hey, this is what I have so far. Would you mind playing it? If they want my insight on it, I will give them my insight. If I want to make changes to it, like, hey, I think this will be improved. This card over this card. So that if anyone really values my opinion on the deck building, they can send it in, see what I have to say about it. If I make any changes to it, I will resubmit it back to them. Be like, hey, this is, I think, the better version of the deck that works a little better towards your theme. If they don't have the cards, they can then go and craft those cards. So that's what I do. Is I take deck list submissions from other players, and I play with them, and I try and help them work out the kinks that they may be struggling with. So. This deck has a lot of robots and machines, but I don't see any support. Crew Mechanic looks like it would work well here. I'm trying to think the theme here is around Spatial Dilution, where some of it is more self-dealing, but then Zarenkov Cannon to be able to put that back in with Hyper Rewind. It runs things with Time Worm to make sure you get the Spatial Dilution back if it's already killed. To me, it looks like we'll have to play a little more defensively and set up the turns for the Spatial Dilution itself. Clockwork Construct to get buffs into play that would potentially kill us for something that wouldn't. So we'll see how this works. But I do think the deck is it's mainly supposed to be around Spatial Dilution is the theme of this deck. So let me open the deck up. Get the deck list on screen. If I can put it in the right spot. That over there. Now let's link these things back up. Since they're never linked in the right spot every time I open it. Perfect. There we go. All right. So first things first, I want to get a feel for this deck before I do really anything. So I'm going to take it into casual, play 1 or 2 games with it. Or not casual, practice mode. Because if we bring it into the actual play, we're gonna go against a lot of cages and just things that we can't deal with right now. So, yeah, Terror Shot. I mean, competitively, that's not why I deck Doctor. I want to see how many themes people can come up with and be like, hey, I really want to see if this theme works. Like, I really want to see how I can make Spatial Dilution work. That's what deck doctoring is essentially for. If you want to send in a competitive deck, I'm more than happy to look at a competitive deck. But if people want to try and get a theme going, I'm more than happy to help them get a theme going. Okay. As we've been seeing, I love this synergy. Pass here. Right now, we just need to get some card draw engine. We do have Tempest for card draw. Every time I see Flame Hurler, I just get a big grin across my face and go, Benny, what were you thinking? What were you thinking, Benny? So we are going to... Ooh. We're going to draw 3 here, see what we get. It's not that bad. Lay a Scatterbot. Look at that Flame Hurler doing its work. That Flame Hurler is really showing me who's boss. Okay, so now... I think I actually want to Tempest. I think I Tempest this first. I really need to look for a combo, and keeping a combo for a combo payment could be really helpful. That's going to help. That's going to help a lot. Trying to prevent any of the pseudo damage that I'm taking at the first place. I think now's a good time to repair bot, but I want to use Tempest. Right now we're still digging for our tool set. We're still digging for like Spatial Dilution, for Prism Cannons, for anything like that that'll really help us. So right now we're just kind of... We're putting on some pressure, but with Tyrannos' healing capabilities, the pressure was almost negligible. I do feel like if we're playing a deck that's suited around one specific combo, Tempest is good, but we really need to play almost defensively or in a point where we can get card draw while still doing this. Because right now I can put down another Scatterbot, but I have a lot of really defensive tools in my hand. I drew the Demolition Bot a little too late for the Unstable Scavenger to really be able to utilize that as well. I could Clockwork Construct in that Unstable Scavenger and get more card draw as well. But I think right now, Tempesting the Time Worm away, as I don't need that right away. It's more of a later game card to card draw. I can then... What do I have my discard power on? Just the Scavenger. Because I could Clockwork Construct either the Ramparts or the Scatterbot for the Scavenger next turn and do essentially the same plays as I did before with the Demolition Bot in hand to be a little more tempo-based. I think that might be the play, just to kind of I essentially just need card draw right now. If I'm digging for a specific card, I need as much card draw as I can. Even though Tempest, essentially Tempest should be all the card draw I'm gonna need ever. Inferno hurts. Inferno does hurt. Doing this because these two cards are almost meant to be played in unison. Next turn, I can Demolition Bot into Tyrax Fixer. Essentially, just do whatever I can to stay alive and maintain my board presence. Forgot to heal for 5, so that Tyrax Fixer is not going to do what I want it to. So I'll kill that. Probably should have Tempest first. Always card draw first, guys. Always card draw first. I'm going to actually toss the Chrono Dash away. Still waiting for that dilution. Only have one action left. There's nothing I really need right now. I will Hammer Down and Force with these two. Maintain some sort of board presence control. Ramparts into cannon, preventing all the self-damage that I can. I really don't think I need that one compared to the Scrapworks Bruiser just yet. Hyper Rewind is okay. But it's really meant to be used after I get Spatial Dilution out. This deck feels really slow, and it's very dependent on obviously getting one card of 35. Because, like, as soon as you get that one combo, even if it goes to the discard pile, you have things like Time Worm to bring it back for multiple uses. It's all dependent on being able to find it. And if you can't find it that quickly, then it becomes really difficult. So this is going to deal 3, essentially. He can remove it for 5 healing. I don't know what's in this Tyrannos deck, but being able to remove this with the Ramparts still up, I'll take that as a decent tempo maintenance. I should have card draw first. Always card draw with card draw. So let's see what I get. Still no Spatial Dilution. I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I've, like, legitimately looked at all of the cards. Is there something in tech or outside of tech that searches for combos? I know Storm is really good at using combos. Cecilia says, would it be good to run alongside the self-damage idea with a secondary plan of using things like Ambigonotron? It wouldn't hurt. Essentially, to be able to use Spatial Dilution correctly, you need to be able to have a lot of self-damaging cards in your hand. Ambigonotron, I don't think... It would more be like the Leaking Generator, where it's just constant damage and then increases your damage. and just run it as a damage increase. It's what I really need to find here is, like I said, 1 card in 35. And simply just drawing and digging for it means that this deck has to be very defensively, which is where a lot of the healing comes in from the fixers, the repair bots, the ramparts, all this stuff, to utilize until you find that combo. And then after you find the combo, the bait buff removal will go out. That's where you have the time worms to bring it back, so they bait the buff removal, and then you just keep bringing it back to the point where it finally sticks. Oh, Mud, I was like, what's that background noise? So what I'm seeing here off of this is that so far, just from playing these few turns, we need to find a way to get the combo in our hand as soon as possible. There's a lightning card that searches for combo. And with Fountain of Time, we can spin that forward. No sound. Oh, Mud, turn back the Twitch. I hung up our Discord call, so that might have been where you're hearing my sound from. If you turn my Twitch back on, you'll hear me. Because my microphone is working. So let me go into the card database here. I have all these deck lists open. It's amazing because people are submitting things to me, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Vortex Charger, yes. So if we put Lightning into here... No worries, man, no worries. Yeah, if we put Vortex Charger into here and run Lightning with it, that'll help us look for the combo easier, because that seems to be the crucial thing in here, is to be able to find the combo as soon as possible. So if we can have action cards that help us find the combo, that is amazing. And then if we also run Lightning in here, we can... we can still stick with, like, 1 or 2 Time Worms. But we can... I'm trying to think of what other... what's the Lightning card that I'm thinking of? We can run cards like Stormbringer. So we can move it back to our hand if it gets removed. Exactly. I'll probably still want to keep 1 Time Worm, just in case, like I said, we have all these buffs out, and if they remove them at the right time, Stormbringer won't help me. It'll help more later in the game, so like I'd say maybe 1 Stormbringer, but Time Worms would be more consistent, as it's just the last combo buff. Doesn't matter how many cards are on top of it. Yeah, Short Circuit is just an amazing card. I mean, it's Short Circuit, it's so good. So we'll probably, after this, go in and try to make it a Lightning hybrid. As we're seeing, that is the central thing, is we're looking for 1 card in 35. So any cards that can help us find that card outside of Tempest just drawing for it is really going to help us. So let's just try and finish this game off, see what we can do here. Tempest's ability. We're playing a much more defensive style game. We finally found it. Awesome. We might just pass here. And we got the cannon as well, along with the Fountain of Time. Well, guys, we baited out a Crystal Leech. Did not want a ceiling for 5. Would Rylox be better with the portable turret then? Would portable turret on Rylox? I'm trying to think, is yeah, Rylox is lightning, mechanical, storm, right? There might be enough draw mechanics in time alone to help us look for that. We could try it with Rylox running the turret. We could very much try it for Rylox running the turret. It's just like using Rylox, you want to be able to just maintain board presence with him. So that's where it all comes down to. Tempest's ability for card draw might, in fact, be better than Rylox's ability. Where you need the cards to be card draw, whereas with Tempest, you can use those cards for staying alive and damage prevention until you get the combos out. But we can definitely see. I do think that Tempest will still be better than Rylox, simply because Tempest is consistent card draw, where Rylox feels more of you need to use your resources to control the board, and we're trying to build a deck where it's like we need to find our resources as soon as possible. We don't care what our opponent's doing as much, as long as we just stay alive. So we'll do this. Did I miss something? Yeah, he lava bounced our buffs back. I was like, am I missing something? How did I just lose all of my buffs that I was hoping to use here? This guy's a madman. Alright, so Spatial Dilution is finally in play. I think putting this in there is better. Can use it for card draw. Yeah, we can get the Colossi Cannon in now. Okay, so let's try this. True, very true, Terror Shock. That's actually a really good insight on how that deck would run. Is it would almost feel like a completely different deck, and it would lose focus on trying to get the combo out, as it would more focus on using Rylock's ability to just be a tempo deck. So oh, not that one. If we are just going to go ham and have fun, since we're getting an idea of how this deck needs to change. This just feels fun to do. That just feels fun to do. Okay. So we get an idea. Play 10 location cards. Alright, cool. So we get an idea of how the deck needs to start working. I am going to immediately just go ahead and take out these Unstable Scavengers and these Scatter Bots. They're nice for self-damage, but really, like, our self-damaging cards should be coming from the Colossi Cannons. Like, Colossi Cannon with Fountain of Time is just clutch. Those are really good once we get in... we probably don't even need these just yet. We don't need 2 cannons. We do need 3 Colossi, though. Because right now, if we are going full gimmick, which means we won't need the demolition bots. Third Fountain of Time is really nice. All right. All right, so we've cut a good chunk of the meat. Put in 2 blacksmiths. Get our storm cards in here that we're looking for. Turn off Legacy. I don't know. Oh, I cannot tell you enough. Whoops, wrong one. Probably go 3 chargers. The item would help. The item would help. Okay, so we can run a Crackling Rod, or we can run Storm Blaster since it's the only one. Either or, it doesn't matter. If we can run a Storm Blaster, might as well run a Storm Blaster in case for some reason we need just poke damage. It's always better to have it than not have it. So we have Storm Blaster, which is awesome. 3 Vortex Chargers. Now we go on to our time, because our time we essentially just want some card draw. We can look for the, I think Terror Shock said, Time Shifter, to look for the defend cards, to look for the Tantosian Blacksmiths, to get those into play, get our item in as soon as possible so Vortex Charger can start going. Fountain of Time is really nice. Do we want... We probably want 3 Ramparts. I'm trying to decide whether or not Repair Bot is worth it. So I have 1 card I can put in. Like, the Zarenkov Cannon feels fun, but we don't need it. We really don't need it. It's nice to be like, yeah, I have a deck where I can run Zarenkov Cannon. It'll hit for 12. If our basis is our Colossi Cannon and something that's a lot more consistent just to put out, Zarenkov Cannon does feel like a more dead card that we can use space for. If we really want to, we'll try and run it later. But right now, I'm trying to cut as much of the fat as possible and make it a little more consistent. So with that being said, we do have... Why am I looking at machine? I want to look at time. Ooh, we actually might want explosive in here. We actually might just want explosive in here. I know, Rang, if I can figure out a way to keep at least 1 Zarenkov, I will. I definitely will. But I think we just need some explosive cards. Malfunctioning Sentry could be good as just a more control base. We can use it to like remove our Vortex Charges after they're done. Our Time Worms, our Colossi Cannons still get that whole remove. But if we're trying to be more controlled than damage-wise, Malfunctioning Sentry could be good just to move our opponents like 2 cards from their hand to their deck and really just kind of control them. Then again, Emergency Generator is also nice as well. Because we are essentially trying to play a more control-based deck. With a lot of people playing attacks, The generator could be good. We're also going to be running pretty low on health a lot of the time as well. And I want to say actually 3 of these will be fine, so that we can guarantee like we lay a vortex charger and then lay that, and hopefully they remove buff removal. True, Gunner Guard could be nice. But I feel like if Gunner Guard is going to be our next explosive, we are not keeping a lot of explosive for combo payments, and seeing as how our other buffs, I guess 2 of them have explosive, paying for the combos is what I'm more trying to get in the hindsight of. We could try a Gunner Guard, but I want to see how the emergency generators run. We'll try 1 of them, maybe 2. If there's anything else we can possibly cut. I feel like this might be fine. We are going to be drawing quite a lot. How many buffs do we have in the deck? We have 14. That's not a bad amount. Not a bad amount. Not a whole lot of attacks. Obviously, our attacks are coming from Hammer Down. And, is it Chrono Dash as an attack? Yeah, Chrono Dash is our attack. I do like Hyper Rewind as just, like, a massive, almost game ender. Yeah. No, it is a defense card, too, so you can search for the shifter if you need it. I think this one feels a little better put together than the last build. It is focusing a lot more on getting that Vortex Charger out. Getting it into play. We can actually switch up some of these combos now if we don't need them. Chrono Dash. I mean, these are all really nice combos. Reactor Overdrive might be a little overkill, but it does help pay for these nice other combos too. The only other thing we'd be looking for is the Short Circuit. So if we do Short Circuit... Short Circuit does look for Vortex Charger and, like, Colossi Cannon. But then again, we're paying Short Circuit with a Vortex Charger, which is essentially what we're using it to look for. I want to say we'll try it like this. Well, that's the thing, Rangathor. I actually think Tempest is the better hero because of the card draw. The essential point of the deck is to search for something specific, so if we can card draw every turn, that's the best solution. I don't think... Because if we take Tempest out, we'll have to change a lot of these into get just card draw into here. And if we can keep the deck as control and have Tempest be our card draw engine, that's the best solution we have. I think I want to try it like this. See if this flows a little better. I think the addition of the Vortex Chargers, if we can get those off with a Fountain of Time, to be able to look for a combo and put it into our hand. And then, like I said, the combo will essentially bait the buff removal. We'll Time Worm the combo back. We'll do all these things and just keep getting the combo back to where they can't really do anything about it. We might even essentially just run a 3rd Time Worm. So we bait out all their buff removal, and then the 3rd Time Worm just brings it back if they spend their entire time trying to remove the Spatial Dilution. But 3 might be overkill, so we'll try it with 2. I should redo the deck list then. The combos can stay the same. It's the action cards I need to redo. So we can all be on the same page here. Change that. wrong one. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so the deck is changed. Let's jump back in. Give this a shot. See how the deck performs now. No worries, Rank. No worries at all. Okay, wow, we already picked up Stormblaster and Vortex Charger. That works for me right off the bat. No Thunderslug in hand. That's fine. Very nice. I don't think we need to use it yet. Our hand is very limited on resources right now. If he does kill our Vortex Charger, we did just draw another one. I'm feeling in a very fine spot. That card's not Legacy. That card's Legacy. Why is that card there? Okay, you know what happens? We drew all the things that we needed to find the things. You've got to be kidding me. All right, cool. Cool. I guess I'll just draw a combo that helps me pay for Spatial Dilution, I guess. Kashi's Legacy anyway. Yeah. However, I actually can't play it because I don't have another mechanical. That's pretty funny. I kind of want to keep all these. I might just pass draw. That Bubblefish is kind of slowing me down. I'm going to reduce my hand size by 2. That one's fine. That one's actually not that terrible to get rid of as well. Good use of Living Cloud. Good use. Once again, feeling really no threats. Time Shifter, I already drew what I needed it to draw. I think we can just pass. I want to keep all the cards in my hand as the Classic Cannons are like the clutch. Still not drawing another... well, I guess I do have Tyrix Fixer. So I could Spatial Dilution next turn. I do have Time Worm in hand in case things go south. I really want to get rid of this. Thing is, I don't have too many buffs to do that, and I don't have the buff removal for it. If I... Still no buff removal. Okay. Yeah, because it would just get absorbed by that. I could then Fountain of Time into it. It would be another buff to play. I think I just do it. I think I just keep tempo on board. Alright. Fine with that. Let's hope he doesn't have a Thunder Slug, or I'm in a boatload of trouble here. Once again, should have drawn first. Always draw first if you can. Third cannon. All right, cool. No slug. Good to have. Good to see. I feel like now's just a good time. Just overextend. Why not? And I don't need Chrono Dash in my hand right now. Time Shifter and a Gunner Guard. Flutter, okay. That's fine. I could do 13. I think I'll do this. A little more constant damage. Maintaining my board presence. If I did that to deal 13 damage, it would have gotten rid of 2 of my buffs, and then his Thunder Slug kills this, and then I have nothing for lethal. I think that's the better play to do. We could even put this down in case he wants to attack with a combo. So I didn't feel that pressured, but of course this is not a against a meta deck where they're usually attack aggro. But we found lethal. So, yeah, this deck I feel works a lot better. We did just draw ridiculously well that game. We drew our item off hand. We drew the Vortex Charger, and then into the combo that we're literally looking for the entire time. So I did draw that very, very quickly. But I do think that this deck feels a lot smoother with Spatial Dilution. We didn't see a single Thunder Slug, so I'm not sure how bad the buff bait removal was, or how codependent it was. We also drew all 3 of our Colossi Cannons, which essentially is where like all of our damage comes from. Without the cannons, we're doing nothing, and that kind of feels bad. But at the same time, if we just put a Ramparts out and then a Clockwork Construct, let me actually go into here. Nope. Take this out. Turn Legacy off. Don't know why it's on there. I think a third Clockwork Construct actually is just really strong. Because, like I said, our main damage comes from our Colossi Cannons. So if those get removed and we have no way to bring them back, then we're in a little bit of trouble. The Clockwork Construct can be used on cards like Time Worm, Vortex Charger, Ramparts, all these things that are just buffs that we... I mean, once we have the combo, we're not looking for Vortex Charger. It can just be played. Clockwork Construct to bring out a Colossi Cannon. We also have things like Chrono Dash. Moved up 2 discarded time cards to our hand. We can move the Clockwork Construct or the Fountain of Times. The Hyper Rewind brings in 2 Colossi Cannons, spins them forward. So this deck feels a lot more narrowed down into the revisions that we were looking for. The Tyrax Fixers, 3 of them. The Ramparts, we do have 2 Time Shifters to search for healing, search for the Blacksmith. This one just, it feels a lot cleaner. You can also run Dugout, 2 self-damage into Delusion, and can also search for it with Shifter, and brings back 2 Cannons or Gunner. We can run a Dugout. Dugout brings 2 explosive cards back, right? Yeah, so you could run a Dugout. Well, actually, let's do that, because we're running a lot of time cards and not a lot of machine cards. So Dugout, I like that. I like that inclusion, Terror Shot. That's a very good 2 damage in the self-damaging. The only cards we really want to bring back are Colossi Cannons. Our other, I think, Emergency Generator. No, it doesn't have burn. I'm thinking of the other one. Yeah, Dugout Reactor just brings 2 cannons back. There we go. The only thing this deck, I think, suffers from is heavy aggro. Then you're looking for your Ramparts. It only has Tyrax Fixers in here for healing. And obviously Nitro Heal. But if you can just kind of control as best as you can. Keep your card draw to get your specific cards. This deck could be a pretty interesting and fun build or list. So this is my deck doctor on the list. Wrangler, if you would like to take it. I feel like this one does run a little smoother in the whole spatial dilution aspect of it. Like I said, I only played one game after the improvement, and I drew the nuts right away at the beginning. No buff removal was used against me, so it's hard to give a full retrospect, but I do believe that this list runs a lot smoother. And if not Stormblaster, you can toss that out for any of the other lightning items to use. Can you send me the link for it, please? No, it's mine now. You have to just verbally watch the videos. Of course, man. Of course I'll send you the list. If anyone would like, I'll just post it there. There's the revised deck list that I came up with. I hope you all enjoy it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of tools. Like I said, the emergency generator feels nice in here to stop your opponent from just the heavy attacking, but it's more of those, you use it at the right point when you're like about to die, and you're like, okay, he's about to die, send the attacks back, kind of how Blinding Beetle is in Astral, that if you're doing a lot of self-damage, my guess is you're going to be at more health than your opponent a lot of the time, so they're always going to be online until you start Colossi cannoning your way to victory. But well, Mud, your Claws aggro is based on defense as well. You kind of have to. All right. Wow, we have about 45 minutes. I think OFC sent me a list. I'm trying to think. Outside of Wranglethorpe, was there anyone else that submitted before today? I feel like there was one other person, but I can't. Like I said, it's been a while. I feel like there were 2 lists that were submitted to me. And I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. OFC says Rotbeard. I'm assuming that's the one you just sent me. I have not opened it yet. Oh, just me to Chucklet. Okay.